Okay. What's going on? Live on the Global Podcast. This is Radio. This is all this episode of the Pod. Honestly, nerd. Welcome, everyone. For those who don't know us, you can find us on Review on YouTube, where we review comic book movies and all things alike. Just here to start this first podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the DC Extended Universe.
DCU,
now,
baby.
That's something that's very personal to me. I may be the only DC fanboy on here. with the recent success of Aquaman pulling out 1.1 billion. So those of you who don't know, that's 1 billion with the WAN for James Wan, the savior of the DCEU.
We can make that
We've beaten Doctor Strange. We've beaten Captain America. You know, Aquaman is really showing that the DCEU does still have some life, but considering the struggles that it has had, we really want to get into what everyone thinks that they should do with their future. But I'm excited to start this podcast off. We have Chris, Nick,
Hey guys.
and Marquise. Now, just to give you guys an idea of what our perspectives are coming from, so you see that we may have some biases, but we all have different opinions. I want to get into everyone's favorite top 5 superheroes for DC.
All right, so starting off top 5s, I'm going to go with Superman, Jesse Custer, Preacher, Sandman from the Neil Gaiman series Dream, Constantine, and at my top is Batman. Growing up, I saw the Tim Burton movie, watching the Adam West movie. Batman was my hero. I remember a point when I was a kid where I actually wanted to be Batman. I was planning it out, like, as like an 8 or 9-year-old, and yeah, Batman's my top.
Some eclectic picks with Preacher and Sandman.
I had to, man. I had to throw some in there. I'm thinking the entire DC comic verse, and I included the Vertigo in some of my picks because those are classics. So
Okay, all right. What do you got?
Well, blew me away with that. so I'm pretty much from bottom up. I'm gonna say the Flash. I more recently got into Flash a lot.
Okay.
I've been reading a little bit more on there, and thanks to Ray. I'm gonna say he gave my top
Most
5.
intelligent pick.
I gotta say, Rorschach. I just
Okay.
like the grittiness of Rorschach. Man, I just thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And
is that number one?
I wouldn't say Swamp Thing.
Nice.
Because as a
Good
kid,
pick.
I loved that movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go Swamp Thing on there.
All right, cool.
All right, Marquise, what do you got?
Me, number 1 is Batman. You know, the animated series was life as a kid. Come home, watch that on Fox. John Stewart, the Green Lantern, you know, in the Justice League representation on the screen.
Okay.
Nice.
Flash,
Okay.
Blue Beetle, Jay Reyes version, and
Good
Static
pick.
Shock.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
Awesome. All right.
So, what about you, Ray?
Yeah, so in my top 5, all right, number 5 is going to be Wonder Woman. Number 4 is going to be Green Lantern's corpse. I can't just specify Hal Jordan or John Stewart because I just love the Green Lantern corpse as a whole. I find they're like... So I'm the DC fan, I can cheat. All right, number 3 is going to be Bruce Wayne's Batman. And number 2 is going to be Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond.
And then number 1 is going to be The Flash. And Batman Beyond and The Flash are like my number 1 and 2. The Flash does bear close to my heart because I feel like...
man, he slipped
my
my mind.
But Terry, like, that show made my life as a kid. I was like, this is what the future is going to be. We're going to have long lamps and clubs, and we're going to be out till 2 a.m. And, you know, like, your girlfriend's going to be like, Terry, come on, party with me. But you just spent the whole night saving the day. So, that was huge for me. But The Flash is really number 1. I feel like he's kind of like the Goku of the DC universe. He's the most altruistic. You know, he is that symbol of hope for me. Like, I think of a superhero in this day and era, I feel like he would be the one I'd be like, all right, I'd follow that guy.
I've been really disappointed after Flash season 1 then, man.
Well, you know, it's a hard life to be a DC fanboy, but
Heavy crown, right?
yes.
All right,
Yes.
so now let's go over on our top DC villains.
Yes.
Did you want to start?
Yeah. All right. So number 1's going to be the Reverse Flash.
Ah,
I just love him as, like, you know, we're
Which
the
one?
Flash.
Not Zoom, right? You bought
Eobard one, yeah, because I loved it like when he says like, I was the smartest man in my time, like, like that's
And he was a great villain in the first season, though.
just to be so obsessed with the Flash, come back, and then he can never be faster than the Flash because he's his hero. That really sticks with me. Number 2 would be Deathstroke. I just think he's underrated because of Deadpool, but people need to remember that he was
Deadpool's better.
Deathstroke is technically just as good as Batman.
Oh God!
Yeah. And he in one
who says that? People that aren't Batman. That's
but in one instance,
right? Batman always wins.
He defeated the Justice League at one point.
He did.
He did. So okay, there. Going from there, I'm gonna have to say Cheetah.
Okay.
And then let's see, the rest of it's so hard for me, but I have to say Clayface.
Good pick. Yeah.
And rounding out is going to be another Batman villain. It's going to be Joker. It just has to be. I feel like he has to be in the top 5.
Has to be. Marquise, what about you, man?
Headshot number 1.
Oh, okay.
That's even from Batman and animated.
Did you like him in Suicide Squad?
I love him in Suicide Squad.
Okay, perfect.
Black Manta, didn't like him too much in the Aquaman.
Oh, good reason.
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
Some of it, but not. Dark Side, I mean, he's Thanos, it's the Marvel, but he was out first. Captain Cold, I love how y'all smart Flash, and he's not as fast.
Yeah, really. It's true. All he's got is ice gun.
And then we got Deathstroke. I mean,
Thank you.
How could you not like somebody who just thinks on a whole level and can just defeat the whole super team Justice League by himself?
Another thing about Deathstroke is he has no morals as long as he gets his mission done. It doesn't matter. He'll kill anyone.
He'll name a kid.
Yeah. He won't. He's a thin kind of morals. He makes him somewhat of a good.
It's cool how he can play the hero, he can play the villain, and characters like that always.
Yeah.
A dream. But,
All
right. Anyway,
Dr. Comic, I'll trust your judgment. Nick, what do you got?
All right. So I had some of the same ones you guys had. I had Joker on there. I had Captain Cold on there.
Nice.
I real recently got more into him. I had Lobo in there from his different work. Nice. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. I put Doomsday because he went with me. I'm sorry.
He does get
and King Shark. Okay. Just because he reminds me of the Street Sharks, and I like the Street Sharks. So
you've seen the bad King Shark, on the Flash show.
I would love to see
compared to the Killer Croc that was in the suit, the abomination that was Killer Croc. Yeah, so it's always interesting when a TV show can do a better.
I like there. I would not seen him in Aquaman 2, being a main big dude.
That'd be cool. Dope. I mean, it'd be a breath of fresh air from the octopuses banging on drums. But that's a conversation for another day.
Let's get to your top 5.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap mine up. But I'm gonna start with my number 5 was Darkseid.
Okay.
I've always been a Thanos fan, but I've been reading more into Darkseid over the years, and everything that goes into him, Apocalypse, the anti-life equation, and just how much he's a great villain for the Justice League, for Superman, Batman, everybody. Harley Quinn comes in next. I love Harley Quinn. I know that she made the transition over to superhero, but there's points where I still consider her a great villain.
Mad Love was one of my favorites.
Seriously, and that started back to the animated series with her getting her first appearance on there. She just hooked me. I've always liked her as a character. Number 3 is Hush. Tommy Elliott is an awesome, messed up character. His origin story and the way that it contrasts to Bruce's origin story and her childhood friends, and Billy just full on psycho, and Bruce went the other way.
You gave me that comment.
Yeah, I've always liked Hush. Coming in number 2 is going to be Two-Face, Harvey Dent. He's always one of my favorite villains in the Batman Rogues Gallery. But I give my number 1 spot to the Clown Prince of Crime.
Okay.
Mr. J, the Joker, comes in at number 1. All the movie adaptations, all the cartoon adaptations, and then just going into the comics. I've always been fascinated with Joker.
Awesome.
And
even Jared Leto?
What? Who's that?
what is that? We can get to that.
What is that? I don't know what that is. Is that Father Dumpster?
I only laugh with my tattoo in my hand.
Oh God.
That just gives you an idea, basically, of what our preferences are in the DCEU, kind of like where our perspectives were before they started making this greater universe. Now, with the addition of Aquaman, we've seen pretty much the entire Justice League, you could say. This all started with Man of Steel, which I think has become a classic film now. And
I think that's the one area that we all agree on.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
has become like,
I think
like
Man of Steel
underrated.
was it was a good foundation for where they wanted to go. So I don't know what they did after that. Like I don't know
But
what point they broke
we are
humanity,
in the DCEU, and we're seeing where they're going with the direction, especially after the success of Wonder Woman and Aquaman. So they've had those two hits recently, and they are continuing the DCU with coming up next is going to be Shazam.
Okay.
Following that, we do have the untitled Joker movie, which is going to take place in the 1980s.
That looks dope.
We could see.
It's like a hobo.
it can't get any worse than Jared Leto. So like all that Joaquin Phoenix can do is,
Well, you have that, and then the next Wonder Woman sequel is going to be coming out in 2020.
Oh, you don't talk about the teaser trailer that dropped today?
So that also is going to be that
teaser trailer.
But first, let's talk about 1.1 billion Aquaman. Okay.
All right. All I have to say about that is bad movies make bank all the time. So.
Let's just we do this on our YouTube channel. A Razor View. Just to refresh everyone, Chris, what'd you think of it? Real quick.
I think I recall giving it like a 6.
Okay.
You know, like 5.5. They had parts, but overall they let me down. It wasn't as bad as Glass, but it.
Marquise, what'd you think of Aquaman?
I gave it a 7.5. I was okay with it. I like the action.
Except for the casting, right? Like it should have been
He's
Lobo.
Lobo.
Oh, no.
Without even talking about it,
Different
he
thing.
is
You
Lobo.
don't think this-
Geoff, man.
Which missed out on the casting, man. So.
Nick, what'd you think of Aquaman?
It had some good points, but then some other points. It was like, what happened? When it ended, I was like, did I miss something? Like that's weird. One, some other points that was silly, and I didn't understand. Like that was the weirdest looking Kraken I've ever seen. It was like
that CGI was beautiful.
Was he a lobster? Was he a squid?
Okay,
It's like
well,
he
you
just
know what?
together.
It's its own interpretation,
It
okay?
was very it's like the seahorses have legs. I was like, where did that come from?
Right?
It was perfectly fine. I love CGI.
I mean, and then they had like the like you said, the squid playing the drums, and it was like,
That's fine.
I was like,
That was-
it's a little bro. It's like, he's under the sea, he's having a good time. and
He's just being like, man, I could have just peed on it. Well, like, where am I, bro?
Okay.
Arthur Curry would totally say that. I'll just pee on it, bro.
All
That's
right,
my beer, man.
terrible dialogue aside, those stupid jokes. I recently rewatched the movie again, and I gotta say, like, I loved it. I think it was a really fun movie. And say what you want about Jason Momoa, like he's so passionate about the role, and you can't ask for anything more from an actor where they're not totally invested in this role. And he is just like giving everything he has to it. So I have to say, like, he's Aquaman to me now. And moving forward, he's
Aqua
I'm
bro.
gonna stick with him.
Man, like that movie. All right, Aquaman.
It was a beautiful movie. It's
Dude,
visually
underwater, it was a beautiful movie.
okay. Yeah, no, I'm talking about when they're in
the whole movie doesn't. But you can
forget
forget
about
about
that
the
part.
movie. No, man, you
forget about
can't forget about that. My eyes can never forget that part. There's a big chunk of that movie where it's just a big dumpster fire. The Sahara Desert. They're over in Sicily.
I don't remember
It's,
it.
you can tell it's green screen. It's the most obvious green screen.
I don't remember that.
He
part.
hit wet floor status like when they went to Sicily. I'm sorry. Asgard looked like a real place, man. And
Okay, all right. I'll give you one thing. They said there was going to be 7 kingdoms.
yeah, what happened? 7 kingdoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 kingdoms. You could have just called it the Battle of the 5 Kingdoms, and everything would have been fine.
Just watch the review.
You'll hear more about that. But I'm going to try to
man.
if I can.
Sorry.
It's on the hip hop.
You know what Mike Strickler done, man? I'll tell you. Mike Simpson, I hope you're paying attention.
All right. Now, with the success of Aquaman, they are going to be moving forward with everything. Now, what other highlights do you have from the DCE, really? Starting with Man of Steel, going into Batman v Superman, then we had Justice League and Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad's still at the bottom of my list.
they're now going to, like as per the directors that they recently interviewed, they're going to be focusing on those solo films moving forward. And I don't think we're going to see a Justice League 2 for some time.
Kind of like what Marvel did.
Well, you know, hey,
I thought that they didn't want to follow Marvel.
What we're doing with DC,
had to reinvent the wheel.
We're giving the directors.
God forbid Marvel had a good idea. Like,
but what are some of the highlights from the movies for you?
Cavill
let's talk about the good.
I like Cavill.
Cavill as Superman is awesome. I know Christopher Reeves. It's nostalgic, and but Cavill is the Superman. Like he's Kal-El. He's Clark Kent. They need to do whatever is possible to keep him on because you lose him. Have fun recasting that. Like the flaws that Man of Steel have that people like might throw out there, they pale in comparison to being able to find the perfect Superman. And I like the story. I love how he chose us over his own people.
Yeah,
I love that when he
you know.
I loved when he says Krypton had its chance.
Oh,
and then
perfect.
I'll see. Like, the funny thing is, like Man of Steel gets so much slack, and I remember when it
people are like
first came
too
out.
dark. It's
Well,
too,
here's the thing. If you remember, it came right after the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
People were confused. It was a continuation from that, or if it was its own thing, because Christopher Nolan was attached as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
So people were confused. Like, what is it? Like, yeah, is this going to be Superman for Christian Bale's Batman? And no one like really knew. And then it came out, and people were like, "Oh, this guy's dark. He's killing people."
That was like a main problem with Aquaman for me. Is you take a movie like Man of Steel or Wonder Woman, the way they handle their origin story, it made it so interesting following Cal as he's like, saving like, ocean liners, just doing random stuff. Like Aquaman had an origin. I felt like it happened for like 10 minutes, chopped up.
They felt you already knew from the Justice League movie, and that's the problem.
I
need to have compartmentalized until they came together, and we don't have that together feeling that Avengers had with Justice League. We had so much building, and by the time 2012 came, we had 4 years to wait, and we already had these movies. Mm-hmm. We had Man of Steel,
and we got to know each one of the characters. Yeah, they're solo movies, but like with the MCU, I mean with DCE, they kind of just rushed it. But yeah, I mean, Man of Steel was the beginning of what I thought was something awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really like. I mean, like Nick, what were some highlights for you from?
I really like.
What's going good in the DC?
Okay, so Man of Steel.
We covered Man of Steel. Yeah. I can praise that movie all day. Opening scene with
Russell Crowe. I feel like with DC, you kind of always had that jump. You don't know what you're going to get. Like, sometimes you get Superman 2, sometimes you get Superman 4. No. And then it's just kind of like
it's the thrill.
It's just like so like, but when you get the good ones come out, you know, without
just call them the Eradicator and call it the Dead.
That's when you get the good ones out, like you know the Bat nipples. Then you get the good ones. But then you get the good ones, like the Christopher Nolan series. You get the
I did like Batman Forever though.
It has points, but the Bat nipples, that was the beginning of the end, man. Throwing Bat nipples and like the credit card in the next one. Come on, man.
It was those movies were great when we were
kids.
Yeah, when I got older, I was like, "What are you doing? Hurry, cut! You're so funny." Yeah. But you know, I feel like they have some just like Swamp Thing. One of my favorite movies as a kid. That introduced me into more characters and more looking into it. And I always love Batman. Who didn't love Batman?
Yeah, come on, it's Batman.
So it's like, and I grew up. One of my favorite movies was '66 Batman. I must have watched the movie more than I watched.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, I watched. I'm about to show it for my kids. Like,
the shark repellent, everything. Like.
So, what about you? Some films.
Wonder Woman, representation for girls. I took my niece.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, she play with toys. She had to get a Wonder Woman doll. So.
Yeah,
that's what Wonder Woman was awesome. Like that comes in behind Man of Steel for me. DCU, like Wonder Woman was such a pleasant surprise, and Ray ruined the ending for me. But I still saw it and I enjoyed it. So
it was a really good.
You told me who the Hades guy was, or Ares was.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah. I thought that was like you just like Young Justice for me the other day.
The movies are
you will spoil things for you.
Yeah,
so.
no, I mean, I gotta agree with you on Wonder Woman right there because I took my mom to see that, and I just remember her like tearing up in the first 20 minutes because she was. I've never seen like women like represented this way. Such a strong like passion, right? And like you know when you see the Amazonian women like kicking butt on the beach training, and just seeing how the emotional response she got out of it made me fall in love with that movie too, like even more.
And just like in her moments too, when she leaves, when she goes to London, right?
Yeah.
Like her interacting with stuff that she's never ice cream, and like the way that women are supposed to dress back then.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good. And the casting.
What are you trying to say about Aquaman?
I said that was a good.
Come on, Marquis.
Aquaman was a okay.
It's better over here. But the casting, I feel like the casting with Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman, they really nailed it. They nailed the whole trilogy. Gal as Wonder Woman is amazing. Like between her and Cavill, the DCU will be in a bad place when they lose them.
Yeah, I mean,
worst place. And I'm
ready for to see who the Green Lantern is going
to be. I say Tom Cruise. I
think Tom Cruise can plant people in seats, man. He can
fill up theaters. You want someone who is the king of sci-fi? Tom Cruise. Yeah. Oblivion. Oh! But you think about Minority Report, Edge of Tomorrow, Oblivion. Like this dude delivers when it comes to sci-fi. And I think you're gonna put anyone in a fake spaceship or like in space with a green.
How do you top Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, he's gonna be the
best.
best.
How do you top Ryan Reynolds?
Anything else?
You know?
Even
wow.
So,
that's true.
You got Deadpool,
you know what? Though, as bad as the Green Lantern movie was, they got the stuff up on correct. Up on the everything with the Green Lantern. Yes, Sinestro. Everything that took place off of Earth was. I was pleased with it. I was happy with it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, like the good right now, the DC. I'm gonna be probably the only one here that says this, but I loved Batman v Superman.
The director's cut.
Yeah,
I will give that the
director's
cut. But I remember watching Batman vs Superman in theater and like leaving angry.
Like I am
leaving. Like what? That is not the movie I saw in the trailer. This is not the movie I saw in the trailer.
Watch him.
That's true, but like I don't know. Like I loved Zack Snyder's vision. I am like a Zack Snyder zealot, you could say. Not to the extreme where I'm coming to release a Snyder cut in every single thing one of those posts. Would have liked to see it.
Snyder cut.
Yeah, but I mean, I've gotten over it. We're stuck with leading cut.
I want that black suit Superman.
Yeah, I love with Batman vs Superman when Batman is running into like falling buildings in the beginning. Like it just really set the tone for me. This is my Batman, and the warehouse scene to this day is one of the best Batman scenes.
I like Batman. I like Batman better in that than I did in Justice League. They
changed him.
He became silly. I was like, Batman's not fun.
You know what? You said it before. I remember talking to Nick about it when Batman vs Superman.
Oh my back.
When it first came out, like that, like we were just talking about that whole warehouse scene. Like I love the Christopher Nolan trailers, but Ben Affleck looked like Batman doing things Batman would do, fighting the way Batman would do. The only thing that not the only thing, but one of the things I hated. Batman would never say, if there's a 1% chance he might kill us, we have to kill him. He would never say that.
You know what? In this universe,
never ever would say that.
You don't know what's really going on there.
Yeah, because they haven't taken the time to explain how Robin died. Like, it doesn't match up. If you match the timeline from when suicide happens to when Robin was supposed, it doesn't add up. So, I just want some consistency with my movies. Thank you, Mark.
You've been spoiled.
I have spoiled. You just want to walk into the theater and say something good every time? No, okay.
Growing pain.
It's tough, man.
So like
this MCU really hits you good, yeah.
So let's get into, I guess you could say, where we think that they could use some improvement in the DC. What was somewhere like the bad, I guess you could say.
Suicide Squad. Do we want to get there?
Don't listen to him.
We want to get there? What the heck, man? You know, like I love Guardians of the Galaxy and I love Deadpool, but it feels like they came out and Suicide Squad was just like, oh, let's do that. They must have switched through like 5 different pop songs in the first like 10 minutes of the movie.
Spent that money,
you know? Like, but, come on, man. James Gunn's like, I'm picking songs that play into what
he's writing the sequel
story of the movie is. Not like, let me just my Spotify playlist on shuffle for the soundtrack of the movie.
It's going to be a very specific playlist for the second one.
You know what? I don't get mind Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
I liked her.
I like Will Smith.
That's crazy.
You know, I like the Batman cameo, but like Joker, dude, Jared Leto, like
That was a joke.
That was the
so,
joke.
so painful.
In all fairness, they cut out 30 minutes of scenes.
They were
Why is
good.
that my problem?
No, it's
Why is that my
entertainment.
problem? I'm the
David
viewer.
Ayer. I mean,
So-
okay. There wasn't the intention of
Are
the
there
movie.
are there excuses? I don't remember having listened to Marvel give all these excuses like, oh yeah, the Avengers director's cut is bad. No, come on, man. No.
This is really the trials and tribulations of being a DC fanboy.
This is why it's fun to be.
It's not perfect, okay?
Meanwhile, over at the MCU, we're eating sushi and hanging out by the pool. Like,
So anyway,
Come on,
enough of
Bob,
that. What about some of the weak points for you in the DC right now?
Rushing the universe, no world building.
amen.
It does not feel like everything came together.
Amen.
Everything was put together. It does not feel like you took time to craft something. It feels like you went and went. Next video. What should we do? Oh, you know what? We're gonna put Aquaman in there with this, and how about we put Flash in as a comedic guy?
Let's just throw a bunch of stuff on the wall and the first down to the floor. That's the winner.
That's the problem. You gotta take time. Marvel took 10 years to build a universe. You guys took 10 minutes.
I think like
Oof.
4 years.
At the bar.
But in all fairness, the first 6 DC movies have done more than the first 6 Marvel movies.
Because
Almost
fanboys go
double.
to the movies multiple times.
And I buy extra tickets.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's rigging the polls.
I mean, it says something where I have to watch multiple viewings of Batman vs Superman, and I can watch Avengers once.
Yeah, but that's complexity to it.
Like when Batman vs
Not
Superman
understanding
scene.
it is not.
Yeah.
No,
Love that.
like,
This is
when
an elaborate.
Hulk, remember Hulk smashed Logan. The entire theater exploded. Like freaking Doomsday fight kills Superman.
Well, like,
Everyone's asleep.
no,
I
no,
don't get
no,
over
no,
my
I don't
theater.
wanna- no,
People
I'm the
were
biggest Flash
sleeping.
fan.
Like,
I don't want to be stuck in a labyrinth of what's happening. I like that.
Yeah,
He's
no,
not
that's that.
the
I remember when Batman vs Superman came out, and then the Flash comes, it's Bruce, and he's like, "What you think is a dream?" I looked around. Honestly, I had no idea what
That
just
didn't
happened.
make sense. They
I
put a
thought it was-
post. They put a
I thought it was,
post-credit. They put a post-credit scene in the middle of the movie.
I thought it was Cyborg. Like,
Oh my God!
And then, but here's the great thing about being a DC fan is you go home and you're like, "What was that,
Dude,
I
Let me revisit. I just healed from the PTSD that I got from BVS, and you're making me revisit it. Like I just can't.
Yeah,
Like,
but like the thing is,
the trauma. Like,
if we were able to get the Snyder cut, okay,
we didn't.
that vision would be completed in Justice
You really
League.
should be complete when it hit
If only. If only. Like, right? We live in a world where we're never gonna get the Snyder cut. Right?
I'm not
It's
a- I'm not a
2019.
crazy Snyder zealot that wants the Snyder
2019.
cut, but
We have to.
let's keep that hashtag going, guys.
See, wait, I think our fans are the best. It's not complex, it's convoluted.
There you go, Miles. Miles. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well said. Well said. In other words, dumpster fire.
Oh,
As they like to call it in the biz. So,
do you want to get into some of the films, or do you want to hit the TV?
we did a good job covering those.
Yeah.
The only thing that that could be awesome that I could really be looking forward to would be maybe some of the animated stuff that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
You know?
There is an upcoming slot of DC animated films that are going to be released.
Have your animated team write the script.
Please,
Thank you.
please,
Live action movie.
DC,
Not the ones
just
that kill
fire everybody that works in the movies on the production side and take the hidden gems of the animated department, right, Marquise?
That's right.
Just let them just run. Give them the keys, man. Give them the keys. Let them run everything.
Yeah, if
they can
they-
work with James
Well,
Bond.
except for this,
There-
don't follow.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
no, that didn't play out right. But
The first, the first bit, I guess, was it the first or the second bit of the
When he
movie was
talked
okay.
about
it kind of started out.
It's like a 30 minutes of the Killing Joke. It's okay.
As soon as him and Back hooked up, I was like, whoa,
Okay, yeah,
whoa, whoa.
not that part, not that part.
That was weird.
I was just like, you duped me again.
Yeah, you got me.
But you know, like
Reign of
Reign
Superman
of
was
Superman
good.
was awesome.
Yeah,
I like that.
was
I
good.
watched that the other
Like
day.
all
That
of
was
the
good.
Justice League movies that have come recently are good. The DC, the monsters, it's all in Arkham.
That was dope.
Yeah.
Hell to Pay, Flashpoint, the way that
Yeah,
those
Hell to
three
Pay, yeah, when they
connect together. Wow, and DC's fire, dude. And then what was the other one, the animated one that came out, the DC Gods and Monsters?
Oh yeah,
Right?
that was decent.
That was cool, man. It was like some Elseworld stuff, and they changed the characters up.
Oh, so
it's interesting.
Just to wrap up movies, they did release the Birds of Prey. It's just started going.
Oh wow, man. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
Did you guys see this trailer? Oh my god.
It is a highlight of all the characters.
Oh
my
god.
From by Black
You can see
Isn't it without a mask?
I'm sorry. I'm dying here, man.
He just hasn't gotten a mask yet.
That Ninja Miles, I like your mind.
That
That
Ninja
Ninja would be cool, man. It'd be a lot better than the 80s pop freaking.
Well, I mean,
words that's birds of
can
prey.
we see the movie before we just bash?
I thought we were
Like,
watching
no, like, I
CW like
understand.
this year.
I
Riverdale.
don't understand why I have to retain my thoughts on the products that they're already putting out. I should no, that's like the most ridiculous thing. So
You
have
want
to-
your money and you have to work.
Yeah, like we're pushing out trailers, all this stuff that you want people to view. So we're not supposed to be objective about it. We're supposed to be like, oh, I'm holding on to my opinions until I see the full thing. Like, I'm wrong. If it comes out, I was wrong about Heath Ledger. I thought Heath Ledger was going to be a mess. And you know what?
Me too.
I can admit that I was wrong about that. 100%. He was an amazing.
I wanted Robin Williams. Yeah, that was definitely.
See, like, so I can only work with what they give us.
It's just pure bliss.
That was not bliss.
Not
That was like a weird dark mirror episode or something like that. Like, I don't even know how to
still
process.
I wish now that they use Aquaman, I was not going to use it. I wanted William to the Joker sometime. I thought he had that look. And I know he could do it.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
do it
forever.
And now he's-
a little
Now
weird
he's
about that.
pointing to the guy from under the wall.
Before, I mean, he's great in John Wick.
I wouldn't mind. Who's the guy from Get Out? And
No, we went over this.
no, you don't like him.
No.
Like, what if he didn't do the thing?
Maybe.
He's got the physique. He looks like Joker. I don't know. I think it might surprise
It might be too like spitting thing. It's like I just can't get the spitting.
All right. So if you got rid of the spitting thing,
I can
I mean, it can't be forced on.
So let's get into television in regards to the DC universe right now. What are some of the highlights for you guys? Marquis, I'm going to start us off.
Ooh, Flash season 1, lightning in a bottle, as Chris
Amen.
said before. It had intrigue, mystery,
Edge of your
jokes,
seat, man.
suspense, action, romance. It had everything you want. Chase scenes, I love those. Family,
Cisco,
heart, sister. I mean, it had everything. It's strong female leads.
like that was peak Wells, man. That was peak. Like he was the villain the whole entire time in the entire season, and we all know, but none of them know. Like
It was great.
it's amazing.
That was my favorite season.
Yeah, right.
My favorite.
Not everyone is stuck with every season. Like,
Nope.
I'm
I
still catching up. on this
After season 3, cut that cord, man. I'm done. I can only take so much abuse. Definition of an abusive relationship is that. Yeah. They're gonna change. They're gonna change. It's gonna be better next time. It's gonna be better next time. No, I already deal with that with Walking Dead. I'm not gonna do that with
They get pulled into this.
Where Rick's just like, hey.
Oh, he's not on the show anymore. He's excited.
I mean, I love the Flash. Like, you know, he's gonna have such a place for me, I'm there for the good and the bad. I'm there when he just left Iris standing and through the speed force.
And
And
about the
then,
Flash
like,
in the 90s. You like that too?
I'll do it. Yeah.
I mean, I was a kid.
Yeah. You know, like,
You don't sound enthusiastic.
look, man,
Convincing me.
I'm convincing myself. The best show ever.
You know what?
Show ever.
Nothing. It doesn't get as bad as I think CW shows suffered greatly from having a 22, 23 episode count. I think if they had a smaller episode count, that would play into their strengths greatly, because on the other side of that, you get Titans. And Titans, like, I'll give the CW shows, they work with the production that they have, and they bang out like production quality for those episodes.
Yeah. Considering the budget, like
Considering the budget,
to
like,
fluctuate that budget between several shows, they can pull together. I do think the crossover episodes are great, even to this day.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
what do you guys think about Batwoman? Miles on here
Yeah.
was just asking about Batwoman.
Ooh,
With Ruby-
I'm here I'm optimistic.
Ruby Ray.
Ruby Rose.
Ruby
They're
Rose.
playing
Sorry,
Batwoman.
Ruby.
They just shot the pilot for that, actually. So it's not sure if it's going to get a full pickup.
No.
Yeah, they just shot the pilot for it, so it's not sure if they're going to get the full pickup on it.
All right. My only gripe with that is I know that they can't use Batman like how they want to, but I just feel like having Batman first and just diving into Wonder Woman, it's going to be like Supergirl. We're just going to dive into Supergirl, and then we're going to get Boy. We got Superboy. Like, I know he's Superman, but he looks like Superboy today. He's Superboy, dude. Freaking Jimmy's bigger than him, dude.
Oh,
Jimmy's like towers over Superman.
But I met that actor, and he's decent.
Well, then is it your height?
He's about 2 inches shorter.
Oh, okay.
Then he must lose 3 inches when he's
The
on
guy
camera.
who plays Jimmy is bigger than me.
Yeah, he should have been Superman.
I was like, this
I would be fine with him as Superman because at least he physically looks like him.
They pick like a former football player.
No, dude, Henry Cavill.
That was my guy on there.
Amen, Manny. Guardians, man. That's how DC wishes they had the quality of movie Guardians brought us. I hope that with them having James Gunn on, I hope they'll be able to, utilize his talent. But I mean, for the TV shows, I had to go to. Oh yeah. Sorry, man.
I still like Legends.
Really?
I
Yes,
can entertain
Oh, man, they fought a stuffed animal.
You know why I like
They
Legends?
fought a stuffed animal,
No,
man.
it
It was a
doesn't
stuffed
seem to
animal.
That's just, they don't seem to stick to any of the traditional.
Thank you.
Stick to any of the traditional like plays on it. It's like they don't care if they destroy time. A time machine will fix it.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like what Suicide Squad should. Legends.
Captain
but, like,
Captain
How many times?
Anyway.
How many times is Ray Palmer going to die of the battery? I don't recall Tony Stark being like, "Oh my God, I totally ran out of juice." In my
Iron Man 1,
iPhone."
he almost did.
That was the first movie. When did that happen again? We're on like season 4 or 5 of Legends, and Ray's batteries are still dying. Like, I don't understand that, man. You're supposed to be a genius.
I don't,
And anticipate problems. At least fix them
Worry
after they
about that
happen.
Perfect. It's not perfect. I like little bits and pieces.
Nah, man, they thought like this is George Lucas popped up. I was like, George Lucas? What are you guys smoking? Like,
Wait, that
Come
episode
on.
they showed you what they were smoking.
Yeah.
They were-
touche.
oh,
No,
man.
it's
All right,
not-
so Chris, what are like the highlights for you? DC TV.
Young Justice.
Yeah.
It starts and ends with Young Justice. I mean, Batman the Animated Series will always be in
Justice
the
League
top.
Unlimited
rank.
is great too.
And Justice League Unlimited too, but Young Justice, I restarted Young Justice in anticipation for the season that just dropped, and I'm at the end of season 2 right now.
Did you finish it?
Oh my God.
Did my spoiler kill it?
It doesn't matter. It's just, it didn't spoil it, and something else got spoiled. I know, like Darkseid shows up. Or
What?
something.
Oh.
Wait,
Sorry. You didn't finish season 2 yet?
Oh, I thought you saw season 3.
No, and season 2, like Darkseid shows up or whatever.
Everyone-
Sorry, spoilers. No, like what Young Justice is able to do, like what
That's the best Flash scene.
what they did with Black Manta, what they did with Aqualad, and
Yeah.
then what they did with the time jump when the Justice League members lost that 6 months, and then they find out that they destroyed an entire planet, civilization, galaxy, and the way that they've been handling Blue Beetle is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. I really look forward.
We're gonna begin the Blue movie.
Yes.
Oh,
That DC can't wait to screw up. Like,
Yeah.
They're looking good. I believe in it.
Like,
I
we're
see
all about
picture, man. He
diversity
looked
now.
like a Beetleborg.
right?
He looked like a big bad Beetleborg.
And until the animated department comes over and takes the reins away from the live action people, I'm just gonna. I don't know, man. I don't know how I'm supposed to have faith.
All right.
You
Let's
know?
talk about some of the bad
A lot of
now, because like I was
A
talking
lot of the
about
bad
the
of the
good.
TV
But,
show.
yeah, because I can't talk what you said about Young Justice. I feel like that, like you said, that is the
It is. They
beginning
just,
and end for me. That like
it's a slow
perfect.
burn.
Yeah.
Like they develop all these
how
characters.
how they able to
you
do
know?
that with like 23 episodes?
Now, granted, they're only half an hour long, but still,
They string those.
you can
stories-
adjust accordingly for live action.
Yeah.
You know, like, and maybe shorten your episode, and then you'll have a big budget. You know, like.
Let's talk about the bad, and I feel like we're all going to talk about the DC streaming universe.
Oh, Titans. I was so wrong about Titans. That's something that I was wrong about. I was on the hype train
I'll admit I'm wrong.
I admit it. I was arguing with people when they were like,
"Dear Griffin and Nerd."
Griffin, you were right, man. Griffin Sullivan, you and Stripe were spot on with that. When we had talked before, I had only gotten through the first episode, and I was on my Batman high.
Yeah.
God, it was painful, man. It was painful.
Only thing I liked was that last Dream episode.
Yeah.
I don't feel any closure.
What happened? Why do I have to watch the show to know what happened?
What happened was
the
they
episode?
filmed an additional. There's supposed to be 13 episodes.
Yeah.
And they decided for some reason to end this season on a cliffhanger, and the first 2 episodes are going to be the first we get into on the
But
next
as Chris
season.
said, we should not be sitting here confused with all this complexity when we're done. Like, no.
And like Starfire, like way too ruined an amazing character in Starfire.
And I like the actress.
I love the actress. I'm
I
fine
thought
with
it
her,
was great.
but she shouldn't have had amnesia. She should have hit the ground running.
She should have changed her clothes.
Yeah, she should change her clothes. And no, she should have just had on her freaking
Here she had a dream. Why couldn't she?
sympathetic
the whole
suit
time.
that she has. Like she should have hit the ground running. Hi, I'm an alien bounty hunter from a different planet. I have to find Raven. Where is she? Instead of like trying to figure out why she's a Russian prostitute or like why she can't change her clothes, why Dick just won't spend some of his money on her and just go out and buy her stuff. The poor girl.
Because he's not getting allowed from Batman anymore.
Jason shows up and just
changed the locks.
Oh God, that dumpster fire, Jason Todd, man.
He's
an annoying little brother.
His face was so punchable. I just was like,
And like his Robin suit looked like a cheap knockoff compared to the quality that Robin was rocking. Or that
The budget for the entire show, I believe, was like under 20 million.
And that's why suit is bad.
It's
is that why Beast Boy could be turned into one?
Yeah, that's probably why.
Amen, Miles.
Turn into a mouse.
Cool, man. 100% agree with that comment.
And
I-
you know, like, but I think that like it was a breath of fresh air to see those characters on TV. And like,
It was.
I always say it's like when you grow up always wishing to see these characters, or like you don't get it. All you get is the comics. You have to live out these things in your mind. And now we're actually able to see them play out on TV. Granted, it's not perfect,
But
it's
they don't pull their punches as much as the CW show does. You know, like them being able to just name drop Alfred.
Yeah.
Like I wish the whole thing took place in Bloodhaven because that's where Nightwing is. Apparently, they wanted to move it out to LA, but it felt like they had more liberty to use the universe than the CW shows.
I mean, it's produced directly on DC's network, so
And it's produced by Greg Berlanti, who also is the
so
showrunner
like there
for
is
the
loose
CW
connection
shows.
to the movies. So you gotta get the idea that they are kind of connected to
Yeah.
them. It's not really confirmed, but they are also going to be coming out with Swamp Thing on the DC.
And Doom
Extended.
Patrol too. Doom Patrol was a highlight of.
I can't wait to do it.
I love Doom Patrol.
I like
episodes
Doom
a
Patrol.
lot.
I
I
like
like
the
seeing
Doom
him
Patrol
first. He's doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's.
So
he's
I mean,
doing
like
stuff.
it did have some good moments on this for me. Like I feel like there is potential, but considering the fact that they only have, I believe, 700,000 subscribers, or maybe something like that, because the DC Universe is not available internationally.
So it had good parts, right? So at least the DCU is consistent that way, where it has some good parts, kids. There's some good parts in there.
As a DC fan, you just think about the highs, never the lows.
A lot of them.
You know what? DC needs to get their act together, though, man, because I don't mean to bring some more cloud on everybody's parade, but Marvel is launching the Disney Plus streaming service. And they are going to have MCU-related shows.
They're gonna have
Scarlet Witch, like freaking Bucky and Falcon, Loki, and Red. What's the budget for that?
They're all going to be $100 million shows, apparently. So when you think about in comparison to
Hot
DC
fire,
streaming
man.
stuff, it's there's no comparison.
What's the episode count? I think it's like eight episodes.
Yeah, 8 episodes.
Get it
So
all in.
You're gonna
DC,
have, like-
Marvel here to drink up a milkshake. I'm sorry to tell you the facts. Yeah. You never saw There Will Be Blood? With Daniel Day?
drink it up. Drink it up.
DC, Marvel, they drink a milkshake. They drink it up. That's true. All right, go home and watch There Will Be Blood.
Yeah. Hold this at home.
Yeah.
So now that I believe that this is we're on like one of the fall seasons of Arrow, and then the rest of the DC
Thankfully.
streaming services with background coming up and Batwoman being produced. What do you guys see the future of DC TVs, like shows? What do you want next from them?
I don't know, man.
Give me a Booster Gold show.
Okay.
Well,
he's in that picture with the Blue Beetle.
Well, he's going to be in the Blue Beetle movie.
But they ain't stopping putting Flash on his own show. He's going to be in Justice League.
I don't know what the state is. Like, do they keep them all CW? Because there's like you're just saying, the streaming service they have is failing. So how are you going to compete with the thunder that Marvel is bringing with their streaming service? I mean, they already have a built-in fan base with the CW shows. So I don't know, man. I'm putting all my cards in the animated series. I have no more stock invested in the live-action TV shows. So wow, I've had to turn away, man.
I love Supergirl. Come on.
You're the.
I love the Supergirl character. I love the actress. It's just
I work for the DL. Like, come on.
she's an awesome Supergirl. I have nothing against. I like her as a Supergirl. It's just a show. Like I
like her. I don't like the show.
The cheesy, like this type of show, and I like it.
I think of it like what I had to do with the CW shows is kind of think of it in perspectives like this is a comic book.
Stanley,
There was a time we didn't have comic shows as great as things.
Yeah.
I take them all.
Yeah, and it, like it may be a little campy, it may be a kooky, but they are kind of like comic book shows. They're a modern version of that. I don't expect to take it too seriously.
Dude, I'm sorry. You watch the choreography, the fight choreography on
Daredevil,
Punisher.
You're not comparing it to that. Though.
We should. We should.
That's a different level.
But we
It
should
don't
not
have to be
really
the
Always
same.
has to be something else. It can't always be the same.
Yeah, you can't expect them to replicate the same thing you get with
Not
Daredevil.
replicate it. Just like, wow, that's really like we should strive to that. You
Like,
know,
we're not
like,
after season 3 going to see Flash like I broke you
Oh.
to the reverse. Like,
how much
we're not
faster
gonna
is
get
Barry?
that.
Barry's got to get faster again. How do you close the season? Barry has to get faster.
Okay.
Has to get
And then
faster.
one day we're going to get fast enough.
Well, you got fast enough to get a ring now.
And then just have Wells. Way to just beat that character to death.
They
I
keep
love
bringing
Wells.
him back in some iteration.
He-
I'm fine with it. I like the
I
actor.
think he should kind of, like M. Night Shyamalan, and maybe stay out of the movie. So just stay out of the show. Maybe won't just direct it. Yeah.
What about Gotham? How do you feel about Gotham?
Not
I've
really.
only watched a couple parts of it. It seems like anytime I want to get it, then I'm like,
It just felt like
Like tortilla.
I
Watch
couldn't
that.
get into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch Gotham.
It's not if you watch Gotham without the anticipation, the expectation of it being like the DCEU shows or the DCEU movies or anything like that, and you're like, it's going to be like Tim Burton. If they just made Tim Burton Batman into a TV series, it's like that. Like they really hone in on the campiness that.
because I watched the last.
It's actually not that bad. Like it's a slow. The first season's kind of tough. Like I don't like what they do with Joker eventually. But like overall, it's not that bad. It's definitely something that you'll probably enjoy.
Wait,
Through it.
Because I watched
it's on this final season.
Yeah,
So once I'm going to watch the.
Oh, this is the final season.
yeah, final season.
Because
It's shortened too. I think it's only like 13 episodes
Yeah.
or something.
I'll tell you
like
this.
that.
I watched it. It was just happened to be on. I lost the remote.
Super. I can't say that live.
Oh, jeez.
Touche, man.
Like I watched it, and I just kind of was like, "What's happening here?" It just seems
No,
like
man.
madness.
All right, well, let's get into the final thoughts of the DCU. What do you want to see the trajectory moving forward? What do you think about the film universe?
I'm looking forward to seeing Shazam.
Okay.
It looks interesting. Like
Yeah,
I was like,
playing
we didn't
more.
cover that earlier,
Captain
but
Marvel.
You mean Shazam? Yeah, sorry, DC conceded that when they named the movie Shazam. So,
It's copyright. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shazam.
There's legalities.
Yeah.
in the way.
I just want to see Shazam address the movie address. Like when he introduces himself to people, does he call himself Shazam or does he call himself Captain Marvel? Because wouldn't he constantly keep switching back and forth?
Yeah.
it didn't
From
in the comics
Shazam?
before.
Yeah.
You get him to say
They
his
did?
name, he's just like, I'm a kid.
That would be interesting.
That's interesting.
I like Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's G off.
Yeah. Geoff, I'm still waiting on your response, man. Come on, Jeff. Don't let me down, bro.
No, I mean, like with Shazam, I think it's gonna be really good. I think it's gonna hit the market, the children's market.
I
really
think it's
well.
definitely
Yeah.
it's the fact that it's aimed more to kids. It's
gonna-
aimed at kids in a better way than Aquaman.
You must want to see it, so.
You know, I think the only apprehension I have, and like I've grown on the costume, like fine with all that. My only apprehension is how is this guy gonna fight the Rock?
Miles,
In
man, Injustice. That's all I want, dude. And oh god, we don't have enough. We need another hour to talk about Injustice.
Yeah, basically. But
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how the Black Adam will play into that.
Ooh.
And like the Rock is like currently shooting Hot Shot where he looks like he's Black Adam.
They need to fire whoever cast the DC movies. I'm sorry, I would not have casted the Rock as Black Adam.
Let's do the casting for you.
Please. We're free.
Yeah.
Tuesday through Friday.
Yeah.
Mondays we're caught up. I'm sorry, we're gonna have this going on, but Miles, that's my dream that they would do Injustice, but at the same time they would screw it up. You can't do Injustice in one movie. You can't even do it. You can't. Yeah, they would not do Injustice. They would do it Injustice. Touche. I don't know. Like with Injustice, I would want a Harry Potter level commitment. I want 8 movies. I want a spin-off series. I want you to contract the actors for the next 10 years. 10 years of their lives. Contract them, man. If you can contract Chris Evans for a decade, if you can contract freaking Harry Potter and all those people for freaking a decade, there's no reason DC can't do it. So,
No. Keith, what are your thoughts on DC State of the Union?
I mean, I got that. I was happy with that. So, I mean, world build, please, world build. Do not do Justice League 2 until everybody at least has a movie and a half. And I keep showing up in somebody else's movie when I say a half. There's some team somewhere along.
I feel like they should just Crisis of the Infinite Earth do it. And just tabula rasa and just translate everybody. Like, I know I love the Holy Trinity. I love the Holy Trinity of the casting for Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. But, they haven't taken steps to have the longevity with those actors. So I'm kind of like at the place, man, burn it down and build it again.
Doing off for that. That's something in my
Well,
I'm sorry.
Obviously, I'm going to be optimistic about everything. I'm curious to see the Flash on the big screen. Like
Batman Beyond.
I would love to see Batman Beyond. Everyone's talking about
Michael
love to see Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I would love to see Batman Beyond movie.
I know the Trinity's perfect, Mike. That's my whole point, but they haven't taken the right steps up to this point. I mean, if they could sweeten the pot to keep Henry, Gal, and Ben around, more power to them. But I don't really have a lot of faith in that. So.
If you can't keep them, then you do the.
Yeah.
You know what, Miles? They could just do Flash, and they could scrap it that way.
Yeah.
Flash is now stuck in the universe.
The stuff I was hearing about Flashpoint really didn't give me much hope. It was supposed to be a comedy or something like that. Like it was supposed to be Back to the Future. Like,
do not blasphemize.
I'm so glad I don't have to do this crap in Marvel, man. Like, Kevin Feige. In Feige we trust.
Well,
fresh glass of water.
I do want to announce that we do have the Razor YouTube channel, and one exciting thing that we do have on that channel, we are going to be giving away a Nintendo Switch.
It's the giveaway of the century, guys.
So if you are not subscribed, please check that out. We do announce details of that in our Glass review, and we're going to be having our Punisher review, including all 4 of us, going to be dropping this week as well, since that season 2 just dropped.
But the Switch, man, have you been seeing that? I want, like, one of us can win it. So, like, you guys are lucky that you're able to win this. That Nintendo Switch is fire.
Yeah,
I would love to win
it. For some Smash.
Make sure you subscribe, guys. You're going to want to comment who your favorite superhero is on the video. Like one of the videos.
February.
And as long as you're subscribed and you commented what your favorite superhero was and you liked it, we'll film the piece and we'll make sure we pick the winner. So.
Yeah, so this just about wraps up this week for us. But next week, we're going to be talking the state of the Marvel.
Yeah! We're going to have nothing but awesome stuff to talk about, guys. A lot more positiveness coming up.
He's done his homework on the bad things for the rest of the week.
You know what?
Raise come back with like a sentence. Like,
hey,
remember that time that Dolph Lundgren played Punisher? Yeah. You have to go back like 20 years to find a reference.
You know what? It's not all birds and whistles over there.
What's your end game? What's DC's end game?
You guys are like, you're gonna be so confused what to do after Endgame comes out.
Man.
It's
okay, man. It's okay. I know Infinity War.
Hey,
will
if you
have
want
their
to talk about
Infinity
MCU,
War, yeah.
Winter Soldier is the best MCU movie. Period.
All right. Yeah.
It's one of the top.
I mean, in my opinion, even the worst Marvel movie is better than the best DC.
Thor.
Thor.
Dark World is better than.
Thor's better than Wet Thor. Like, come on, man.
You said
Everything is better when you add water.
I mean,
Thor Dark World is not better than Man of Steel. I'm not.
No.
but Howard the Duck is
I'll
better
toss
than
it.
Batman vs Superman.
Oh!
I'm not taking that. No.
With a fucking last minute
Oh,
knockout, man. Oh,
Ding,
snap,
ding.
dude.
I think I just
Oh,
snapped
wow.
half the table away.
Oh, man.
Howard the Duck.
My stars and got us.
All right, I guess before we wrap this up, anyone have any other final comments?
I want to give a shout out to Nerd Gang.
I agree.
You guys are awesome. Nerd Gang Universe. Give a shout out to Mooch, Mike Alicia, Mike Simpson, Griffin Sullivan. Everyone in Nerd Gang. We appreciate all the support that you guys have given us. We got one of the founders here with us right here, so we've kind of snapped them and taken them over to our side. But yeah, it's an extended family, and just thank you guys for all the love.
And everybody just sat watching us for the last hour.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching, everybody.
I'm competing. Like,
Thank you,
walking in.
Miles, Manny, Laura. Thank you so much, Mike. Did I miss anybody? Tuesday. Thank you so much, guys. In English. Thank you for watching, guys. Paulie. Who else? Oh, Thanos. Thanos is watching, man.
Yeah.
Thanos, man.
Don't snap until we're
Snap,
done.
man. Just pull up. This is the first episode. We want to keep having more later on, but nah, it's just those are the shout outs I can. I want to thank my mom and dad. Love you guys.
Thank you, Mom, Dad, brothers, sisters.
Yeah.
Thank you, big name, everybody.
All family.
You know you are.
My wife. I love my wife. Thank you honey, for dealing with all my nerdiness and marrying me.
I want to thank my girlfriend because I'm going to be going home and eating some food and playing video games.
Shout out to my
Living like a
Most
king.
Valentine today.
As always, thank you guys for watching. We're going to wrap it up for the Honestly Nerds podcast.
Big thanks to Justice too, man.
Oh, yes.
Our producer extraordinary, Justice,
Thank
man
you.
behind the scenes. So, thank you, sir.
And you guys can see us next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time.
Same
3
bat
p.m.
time, same bat channel.
Western.
Date of the MCU, everybody. It's we're gonna be a lot better. So.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Whew, that was fun. Good
A lot of
times.
fun.
Oh yeah, guys, did it, man.
Boom.
Dude, that was
Stuff.
awesome.
That was awesome.